I always thought love was supposed to be simple. I worked, I tried, I showed up. My name is Adam and I grew up counting coins before counting dreams. When I met her, she smiled like she didn't see my empty pockets. "Stop working so late," she said once. "I have to," I said. "Bills don't wait." She laughed. "One day you'll slow down." I believed her. I believed love could wait too. Most days, I left my tiny apartment before sunrise and came back after dark. My hands smelled like metal and dust. My phone buzzed with her messages. "Did you eat?" she asked. "I will later," I replied. "You always say that." "I'm building something for us." She never argued. She just went quiet. The first time I met her mother, she looked at my shoes before my face. "So you're the boyfriend," she said. "Yes, ma'am," I answered. "What do you do?" "I work construction and study design at night." She smiled thinly. "Busy but not successful." I felt her words press into my chest. At dinner, she asked, "How much do you make?" Her daughter said, "Mom, stop." "I'm just curious," she replied. I named the number. She laughed softly. "That won't support a family." I looked at her plate and said nothing. Her best friend sat beside her, watching me carefully. "You're very simple," she said. "I guess," I replied. She smiled. "Simple men are safe." I didn't know if that was praise. Later, when we were alone, I asked, "Does your family hate me?" She sighed. "They don't hate you." "Then what?" "They worry." "About what?" "About the future." I took her hands. "I'm trying." "I know," she said, pulling away. "Trying isn't the same as winning." That line stayed with me. Money started sneaking into our fights. "Why can't we travel like them?" she asked once. "Because I'm not them," I said. She crossed her arms. "I don't want to struggle forever." "I don't either." "Then hurry." I laughed it off. "We're young." She didn't laugh back. I still brought her cheap flowers. "These again?" she said. "I know they're not much." She kissed my cheek. "It's fine." Fine never sounds happy. One evening, I came early to surprise her. I stopped outside her door when I heard voices inside. "I can't bring him to events," she said. Her friend replied, "Why not?" "He's embarrassing," she whispered. "People ask what he does." My chest tightened. "He loves you," her friend said. "Love doesn't pay for wine," she answered. I stood frozen, holding flowers I suddenly hated. Her mother's voice followed. "You deserve better." "I know," she said quietly. "I just don't know how to leave." Something cracked inside me, slow and painful. I walked away before they saw me. My phone buzzed. "Where are you?" she texted. "Running late," I typed. I stared at the streetlights and told myself love was patient. I told myself loyalty mattered more than money. I told myself she would choose me. Hope, I learned that night, can hurt worse than truth. I walked until my feet ached and my thoughts screamed. "Don't be dramatic," I muttered. "You're tired," I told myself. She didn't mean it like that. My phone rang again. "Are you coming?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "You sound weird." "I'm fine." I wasn't. I sat on a bench and replayed every smile. "She chose you," I whispered. "She still chooses you." I remembered her holding my arm on the bus. "I don't care about money," she had said. "I just want us." I clung to that memory like proof. When I finally stood up, I made a promise. "I'll work harder," I said out loud. "I'll be better. I'll make this worth it." The city didn't answer. I checked my wallet, thin and honest. "This won't define me," I said. "I'm more than numbers." I imagined her future smile when I succeeded. "You did it," she would say. "I knew you could." That dream kept me breathing. I went home alone, unlocked my door and sat on the floor. "I love her," I said softly. "That has to count." I didn't know love could bruise without touching skin. I didn't know hope could bleed quietly. That night, I chose to believe in tomorrow. I slept with my phone in my hand. If she calls, I thought, I'll answer. I'll fight. Morning came without answers. I stood up, tired but stubborn, and whispered, "This isn't the end." I believed that love would see me someday, and that belief carried me forward. Even broken, I held hope close, afraid to drop it. I didn't know how fragile I already was. But I kept going anyway. Love made me brave. Or so I thought. That night alone, I found her waiting in the cafe where we first planned our future. My hands shook as I sat across from her. She didn't reach for me. "Why did you sound distant?" she asked. "I should be asking you that," I said. "You've been pulling away." She looked at the window. "I'm tired, Adam." Tired of what? I asked. Of me. She stayed silent too long. I leaned forward. Say it. She exhaled. I'm tired of struggling. My chest burned. We're building something. You say that every time, she replied. But nothing changes. It will, I said. Just give me time. She shook her head. Time doesn't pay rent. I swallowed. Is this about money again? It's always about money, she said quietly. A man walked in then, confident and clean, wearing a watch worth more than my life savings. He smiled at her. Sorry I'm late, he said. I stood up. Who is he? She stood too. Adam, this is Daniel. Her co-worker? I asked. Her eyes dropped. My partner. The word sliced through me. Partner how? I asked. Daniel laughed softly. In every way that matters. I looked at her. Is this true? She nodded. I didn't plan it. When? I asked. When did I stop being enough? She whispered. When I realized love wasn't saving me. I clenched my fist. You promised. I promised hope, she said. Not poverty. Daniel stepped closer. You should leave. I stared at him. This is between us. She said, Adam, please don't make this harder. Harder than what? I asked. Watching you replace me? Tears filled her eyes. I'm choosing stability. I laughed, broken. So I'm unstable now? You're unpredictable, she said. Your dreams scare me. My dreams? I repeated. You used to love them. I grew up, she replied. Daniel checked his watch. We're late. I picked up my jacket. Was I ever enough? She hesitated. You were kind. Kind. Not loved. I stepped back. I gave you everything. She said nothing. I nodded slowly. Then take it all. I walked out as people stared. Outside my phone buzzed. I'm sorry, she texted. I typed, you made your choice. She replied, I hope you understand someday. I stared at the screen. I understand now. I deleted her number. Rain started falling. I laughed and cried at the same time. Love can't feed me, her words echoed. I walked without direction, heart hollow. I realized something as the night swallowed me. Being poor didn't hurt. Being disposable did. I promised myself I would never beg again. I disappeared into the dark, carrying nothing but pride and pain. My phone kept buzzing but I didn't answer. I heard her voice in my head. Adam, you're overthinking, she used to say. Adam, money isn't everything. Adam, trust me. I kicked a stone down the street. Lies, I muttered. I remembered our first argument about money. Why can't you quit and relax? She asked then. Because dreams need work, I said. She smiled sadly. Dreams don't hug you at night. I stopped under a streetlight. I hugged you, I whispered. A stranger brushed past me. Watch it, he said. Sorry, I replied automatically. I sat on the curb and stared at my hands. These built things, I said. These hands weren't useless. Her mother's voice echoed. That won't support a family. Daniel's laugh followed. In every way that matters. I punched the air. I mattered, I said. My phone rang again. It was her. I answered. Adam, she said, crying. What? I asked. I didn't mean to hurt you. You meant to leave, I replied. I was scared. So was I said. You'll be okay, she whispered. You always survive. I hung up. I stood slowly, legs heavy. No, I said. I won't just survive. I imagined her future, smiling beside him. Good luck, I said to the night. I wiped my face. This pain will teach me. The city lights blurred. I won't disappear, I promised. I'll return different. I walked until my feet went numb. Every step felt like goodbye. Every breath felt like war. I didn't know what came next, but I knew love had chosen someone else, and I was finally alone. I looked up at the dark sky. Remember me? I said. No one answered. I straightened my back. I won't chase you. I took one last look at the cafe behind me. That chapter is closed, I whispered. Pain followed me home, but anger walked beside me. And somewhere deep inside, something woke up. I didn't know its name yet. I just knew it wasn't weak. Not anymore. This was the night my old life truly ended. I stopped answering calls after that night. Days blurred into each other. I woke up tired and went to sleep worse. My alarm rang at 5 and I stared at the ceiling. Get up, I told myself. You still have work. I showed up late anyway. My supervisor frowned. You okay, Adam? I'm fine, I said. You don't look fine. I said I'm fine. He sighed. Go home if you need to. I shook my head. I need the hours. Money still chased me even broken. At lunch, a coworker asked, didn't you have a girlfriend? I nodded. Had. What happened? I shrugged. Life. That was easier than truth. At night, my apartment felt louder. I talked to myself just to hear a voice. You weren't enough, I said. You tried, I answered. Trying didn't save you. Nothing saved me. I skipped meals. I skipped dreams. I skipped hope. One evening, my phone buzzed with a name I hadn't seen in years. You alive? My mentor texted. I stared at it. Yes, I typed. Barely. Come by tomorrow, he replied. You sound like hell. I almost didn't go. Pride fought need. Need won. He looked at me and frowned. Sit. I'm fine, I said. Stop lying, he replied. You look empty. I laughed bitterly. She left. He nodded. I know. You know? I asked. Pain shows, he said. What did you lose? Everything, I said. No, he replied. You lost a person. You still have skill. Skill doesn't matter without money, I said. He leaned forward. Who told you that? She did. Then she was wrong, he said. I shook my head. Love wasn't enough. Love isn't the goal, he replied. Respect is. That word hit me. What do you want? He asked. To stop hurting, I said. That won't happen, he replied. So choose something else. Like what? Build, he said. Or break. I was quiet. You always had ideas, he continued. You just hid them. I was afraid, I admitted. Of failing, he asked. Of being seen, I said. He smiled. Good. Pain removes fear. I went home with his words stuck in my head. That night I opened my old notebook. Pages were filled with sketches and plans I never finished. This is stupid, I muttered. But I kept reading. You embarrassed her, a voice whispered in my mind. I'm embarrassing myself now, I answered. I worked until sunrise not because I believed but because I couldn't sleep. My phone buzzed. A message from her. I hope you're okay. I stared at it. I'm not, I typed then deleted it. I locked my phone and pushed forward. Days turned into weeks. I failed interviews. I missed deadlines. I doubted everything. You're wasting time, I told myself. You're behind, I answered. So quit. No. I met my mentor again. You look worse, he said. I'm trying, I replied. Trying alone is slow, he said. But it's honest. Will this matter? I asked. It already does, he replied. You showed up. That night I stood in front of the mirror. You were abandoned, I said. But you're still here, I replied. I realized something painful. No one was coming to save me. That thought hurt then hardened me. I'll do it myself, I said. I stopped checking her messages. I stopped imagining her face. Pain became background noise. Work became focus. I wasn't healing. I was surviving. And somewhere between exhaustion and anger, something shifted. I didn't want her back. I wanted my life back. That realization scared me more than heartbreak. Because it meant change. And change meant risk. I closed my notebook and whispered, let this hurt mean something. The room stayed silent. But for the first time, I wasn't asking for answers. I was making a decision. Rock bottom didn't scream. It whispered. And I finally listened. I stopped talking about what I was building. I just worked. Silence became my shield. Every morning, I met my mentor with coffee and questions. Why didn't you tell anyone? He asked. Because they don't need to know, I said. Or because you're afraid? Because talking feels like begging. He nodded. Good. Build first. I spent nights refining ideas and days fixing mistakes. I argued with myself constantly. This won't work, I said. Try again, I answered. You're wasting time. You're learning. One afternoon, my mentor said, you need money. I know, I replied. Not loans, he said. An investor. I laughed. I don't speak rich. You speak value, he said. That's enough. He introduced me to her in a quiet office. She didn't smile. Sit, she said. I'm Adam, I replied. I know, she said. I read your pitch. My throat tightened. And? She leaned back. You lack confidence. I lack capital, I said. She raised an eyebrow. Confidence comes first. I clenched my jaw. I believe in this. No, she replied. You hope. That hurt. What do you want? I asked. Proof, she said. Show me you won't fold. I took a breath. I already folded once. Her eyes sharpened. Explain. I built my life around someone who left, I said. I won't do that again. Silence filled the room. She said, come back in a month. That's it. I asked. Either you'll quit, she replied, or you'll impress me. I walked out shaking. That night I almost texted her. My finger hovered. She'd be proud, a voice whispered. I dropped the phone. No, I said. She doesn't get this version. I worked harder. I skipped meals again, but this time with purpose. My mentor warned me, don't burn out. I already burned, I said. This is ash. Weeks later I returned to the office. You're thinner, the investor said. I'm focused, I replied. She reviewed my work in silence. Why didn't you quit? She asked. Because quitting feels familiar, I said. And I hate familiar pain. She smiled slightly. That's interesting. She signed a small check and slid it across the desk. This doesn't mean success, she said. It means opportunity, I replied. She nodded. Don't disappoint me. Outside my hands shook again. This time from fear, not loss. I called my mentor. She invested, I said. He laughed. I knew you'd stop hiding. I'm still scared, I admitted. Good, he said. Fear means growth. I didn't celebrate. I didn't post. I didn't tell anyone. I walked past the cafe where everything ended. I didn't stop. She doesn't matter, I told myself. What matters is forward. At night, doubts crept in. You're still poor, the voice said. But not empty, I replied. I caught my reflection in the mirror. You're different, I said. You're quieter. I like that. The work consumed me. Meetings replaced memories. Deadlines replaced longing. One day my mentor asked, do you miss her? I paused. I miss who I was before her. He smiled. That man is gone. I nodded. Good. I learned to negotiate. I learned to say no. I learned silence scares people more than anger. When the investor challenged me, I didn't flinch. This could fail, she warned. So could anything, I replied. She studied me. You changed. I had to, I said. Money didn't make me confident. Distance did. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped asking permission to exist. Late one night, I closed my laptop and whispered, I'm not doing this to prove her wrong. I paused. I'm doing this to prove myself right. For the first time, the words felt true. I wasn't chasing love anymore. I was building a spine. And I didn't need applause. I just needed progress. Silence had become my power. And nobody noticed. That was the best part. I didn't expect to see her again. I was buying coffee near the office when I heard my name. Adam? I turned slowly. She stood there dressed well, smiling too carefully. Hey, I said. You look different, she said. So do you. She laughed nervously. I didn't think you'd answer. I almost didn't, I replied. We stood in silence until she said, can we talk? For a minute, I said. We sat. She kept adjusting her bag. How have you been? She asked. Busy, I said. You? She hesitated. Good. I nodded. That's nice. Her smile faded. You don't ask questions anymore. I learned not to, I replied. She looked down. I heard you're working on something. Maybe, I said. With who? She asked quickly. I raised an eyebrow. Why? She exhaled. I'm just curious. I leaned back. You were never curious before. That stung her. She said, Daniel has been stressed lately. I stayed quiet. His business partner pulled out, she continued. Things are complicated. I'm sorry, I said and meant it less than it sounded. She studied my face. You don't feel anything? I feel peace, I replied. That surprised us both. She laughed softly. You used to get jealous. I used to care, I said. Her eyes watered. I made a mistake. I didn't answer. You don't have to punish me, she said. I'm not, I replied. I'm just not chasing you. She wiped her eyes. You were always kind. I shrugged. Kind isn't currency. She flinched. Outside her phone rang. She glanced at it and silenced the call. Daniel? I asked. She nodded. He's been angry. Power does that, I said. She looked at me sharply. What do you mean? Nothing, I replied. I stood. I have a meeting. So soon? She asked. Yes, I said. My time matters now. She stood too. Adam, if things were different. They are, I said. That's the point. I walked away before she could answer. That night my mentor called. You hear the news? He asked. What news? I replied. Daniel's company is under investigation. I closed my eyes. That's unfortunate. My mentor chuckled. You're calm. I don't celebrate storms, I said. I just keep building. At work, the investor smiled slightly. You're gaining attention, she said. Good attention? I asked. Dangerous attention, she replied. The best kind. I worked harder. Focus drowned memory. A week later, I saw her again standing outside my building. I waited, she said. I didn't ask you to, I replied. Daniel lost everything, she whispered. I nodded. That happens. She stepped closer. I was scared back then. So was I said. Difference is I stayed. She cried quietly. I didn't know you'd become this. I didn't either, I said. Do you hate me? She asked. I thought about it. No. Then what do you feel? She asked. I answered honestly. Distance. She broke down. I wish I believed in you. I met her eyes. I wish you didn't need proof. Silence stretched. I should go, she said. Yes, I replied. As she walked away, something inside me settled. Karma didn't need my help. It just needed time. I went upstairs, opened my laptop, and kept working. Her regret followed her. My future stayed with me. And for the first time that felt fair. The room was too quiet for a deal this big. Lawyers sat straight. Pens waited. My name rested on every page. Adam, review section 12 again, one lawyer said. I've read it, I replied. Just confirming, another added. Once you sign, this goes public. I nodded. I know. My investor leaned toward me. This is your moment. Any doubts? I shook my head. Only memories. She watched me carefully. Don't let them in. I won't, I said. The pen felt heavier than it should have. I stared at my name. Ready? The lead investor asked. I exhaled. Yes. I signed. Pens moved. Hands shook. Cameras clicked. It's done, someone said. Applause followed, sharp and sudden. I didn't smile. Congratulations, my investor said quietly. You're officially in. Thank you, I replied. A lawyer asked, how does it feel? I paused. Calm. He laughed. That's rare. Phones buzzed immediately. Adam, interviews are waiting, an assistant said. Not now, I replied. My investor raised an eyebrow. You don't want attention? I want control, I said. She nodded. You learned fast. I stepped outside for air. The city looked the same. You did it, my mentor said on the phone. I signed, I replied. You sound numb. I feel steady, I said. That's new. He laughed. Proud of you. I ended the call and checked my phone. Her name sat on the screen. My chest tightened. I didn't answer. Minutes later, another message came. I saw the news. I closed my eyes. Then another. That was you. I typed nothing. An unknown number called. I ignored it. My investor approached. Everything okay? Yes, I said. Just noise. Good, she replied. You'll hear a lot of it now. I went back inside. Interviews blurred together. How did a man like you rise so fast? Someone asked. I stayed quiet, I said. Who inspired you? Another asked. I paused. Pain. They laughed, thinking it was a joke. My phone vibrated again. A voice message this time. Adam, she said, shaking. Please call me. I deleted it. Later, as the sun dropped, I sat alone in the conference room. This was for you, a voice whispered in my head. No, I said aloud. It was for me. I stood and stretched. A notification flashed. Her post appeared on my screen. A photo of us years ago. Caption, proud of you. I stared at it. Don't rewrite history, I muttered. Another message came through. I always believed in you. I laughed quietly. No, you didn't. That night she showed up. The lobby called. There's a woman asking for you. Send her away, I said. She insists. I sighed. Fine. She stood there, eyes wide, nervous. Adam, she whispered. I kept my distance. Why are you here? I needed to see you, she said. You saw the news, I replied. That wasn't an invitation. She swallowed. I didn't know you'd become this. I didn't need you to, I said. She stepped closer. I made a mistake. I met her gaze. You made a choice. She shook her head. I was scared. So was I replied. I stayed. Tears fell. I see you now. That's the problem, I said. You only see value when it shines. She reached out. I stepped back. Don't, I said. I loved you, she whispered. You loved comfort, I replied. Silence wrapped around us. I should go, she said. Yes, I replied. She hesitated. Are you happy? I thought carefully. I'm free. She nodded slowly and turned away. When she left, I didn't feel victory. I felt closure. I looked at the contract again. My name. My work. My choice. Billion-dollar ink didn't heal my heart. But it proved something important. I was never too poor to love. She was too afraid to stay. And that truth finally felt light enough to carry. 7. She didn't leave my life quietly. She came back the only way she knew how, through words filled with regret. Adam, can we talk? She asked over the phone. I closed my eyes. We're talking. I mean, in person. Why? I asked. So you can feel better? She went quiet. I just want you to hear me. I met her at the park where we used to sit when we were broke and hopeful. She looked smaller now. You look successful, she said. I look tired, I replied. She swallowed. I didn't expect you to forgive me. I didn't forgive you, I said. I moved on. That hurts, she whispered. I know, I replied. She stared at the ground. Daniel lost everything. I heard. He blamed me, she said. Said I ruined his life. I nodded. He ruined his own. She looked up. Do you hate me? I thought carefully. No. Then why does this feel worse? She asked. Because hate is loud, I said. Indifference is quiet. Tears rolled down her face. I was weak. So was I replied. Difference is I stayed loyal. She clenched her hands. I thought love was supposed to make life easier. Love isn't comfort, I said. It's commitment. She nodded slowly. I understand that now. I wish you understood it then, I replied. She whispered, I see your worth. I shook my head. You see my success. That's not fair, she said. It's accurate, I replied. She stepped closer. Do you ever miss me? I paused. I miss who I was before you doubted me. That broke her. I ruined us, she said. You ended us, I corrected. I survived it. She wiped her face. Is there no chance? I met her eyes. You taught me something important. What? She asked. That love that waits for proof isn't love, I said. She nodded. You're right. Silence sat between us. Adam, she said softly, I was scared of being poor forever. So was I replied. I just wasn't scared of being loyal. She exhaled shakily. I don't deserve you. That's not the point anymore, I said. She looked confused. Then what is? The point is, I said, I deserve someone who stays. She cried openly now. I wish I could go back. So do I replied. But not to you. That stunned her. I don't mean that cruelly, I added. I mean I wouldn't grow if nothing broke. She nodded slowly. You're not angry. No, I said. I'm finished. She hugged herself. I hope you're happy. I considered it. I'm honest. That sounds lonely, she said. It's peaceful, I replied. She stood. This is goodbye. Yes, I said. She hesitated. I loved you in my own way. I believe you, I replied. It just wasn't enough. She turned and walked away. I watched her go, feeling something loosen inside my chest. No victory. No revenge. Just clarity. Later that night, my mentor called. You okay? He asked. Yes, I replied. I closed a door. Good, he said. What's next? I build a life that doesn't need approval, I said. He laughed. That's real success. I hung up and stared at the city lights. I made it, I whispered. Not to the top, but to myself. And for the first time that felt complete. She finally understood my worth. But I had already moved past needing her to. That was the real power shift. And it felt permanent. I thought revenge would feel louder. I thought it would taste sweet and sharp like victory. Instead, it arrived quietly and it didn't even belong to me. You won, my mentor said over coffee. I shook my head. No, I just stopped losing. He studied me. That's still a kind of victory. Maybe, I said. But it doesn't feel like one. At work, people spoke differently to me now. Adam, what do you think? Adam, we'll follow your lead. Adam, this is your call. I answered calmly every time. Power didn't rush me. Steadied me. My investor noticed. You don't enjoy control, she said. I enjoy clarity, I replied. That's dangerous, she smiled. And rare. One evening, a junior partner asked, do you ever think about revenge? I looked up. Every day. He leaned forward. Then why don't you act on it? Because revenge keeps you tied to the past, I said. I already paid enough rent there. He nodded, confused but quiet. Later that night, I stood alone in my apartment, staring at the city. You could have crushed her, a voice inside whispered. You could have taken everything. I answered out loud. And then what? Silence replied. I remembered her tears. Her regret. The way she looked at me when she finally saw value. That wasn't love, I said. That was timing. I poured a drink and didn't finish it. My phone buzzed. A message from her. I understand now why you walked away. I didn't reply. Another buzz. I hope you forgive me someday. I locked the phone and set it face down. I forgive you, I whispered to the empty room. I just don't invite you back. Forgiveness felt lighter than anger. That surprised me. The next day my mentor asked, you ever wonder what would have happened if she stayed? I paused. I wouldn't be here. He smiled. Exactly. At the office, the investor handed me a report. Your name opens doors now, she said. I don't want doors, I replied. I want direction. You're different, she said. I had to be, I answered. That afternoon I passed the cafe again. The same tables. Different people. I sat alone. A memory surfaced. We'll be okay, she once said there. I promise, I replied back then. I smiled sadly. We were both wrong. A waitress asked, waiting for someone? No, I said. Just remembering. She nodded and walked away. I realized then that revenge wasn't the moment she lost everything. It was the moment I stopped caring if she did. That night, I wrote in my notebook again, not plans this time, just truths. I don't want to hurt anyone, I wrote. I want to protect who I became. I closed the book. My mentor called late. You sound lighter, he said. I let go, I replied. Of her? Of the version of me that needed her regret. He laughed softly. That's growth. Before bed, I looked at myself in the mirror. You survived, I said. You didn't harden. You didn't beg. I thought about the boy who believed love was enough. He wasn't wrong, I whispered. He was just early. I turned off the lights and lay in the dark. No anger. No triumph. Just quiet. Revenge wasn't the victory. Freedom was. And I finally understood the difference. I slept without dreams. For the first time in a long time, that felt like peace. I used to think endings were loud. I thought closure needed speeches, tears, or apologies that shook the air. I was wrong. Closure arrived on an ordinary morning. My alarm rang. I didn't feel dread. That's new, I said. I stood up, stretched, and looked out the window. The city didn't care who I was, and somehow that felt right. At work, my mentor greeted me. You look rested, he said. I slept, I replied. Without nightmares? Yes. He smiled. Then you're healed. I don't know about healed, I said. But I'm not bleeding anymore. My investor joined us. We're expanding, she said. When? I asked. When you're ready, she replied. I nodded. Soon. She studied me. You've changed again. How? I asked. You're not proving anything now, she said. You're choosing. That stayed with me. Later, a junior employee asked, how did you get here? I thought for a moment. I stopped asking people to stay. He blinked. That's it. That's everything, I replied. At lunch my phone buzzed. A message from her unread for days. I hope you're happy. I stared at it, then typed one reply. I am. I didn't add anything else. I put the phone away and felt nothing twist inside me. That was the answer. That evening I walked alone through the park. A couple laughed on a bench. Remember when we wanted that? A voice inside asked. I remember, I said. I just don't want it the same way. I sat down and thought about the boy I used to be. He believed loyalty could fix everything. He believed love meant endurance. He believed being chosen was the same as being valued. He wasn't stupid, I said softly. He was honest. I wished I could tell him something. You don't have to disappear to be loved, I whispered. You don't have to suffer to be loyal. A breeze passed like the city listening. My mentor called as the sun set. You free tonight? He asked. Yes, I said. Good. Celebrate. I don't feel like celebrating, I replied. That's okay, he said. Just acknowledge. Acknowledge what? That you survived becoming someone new. I went home and poured a drink I didn't finish. I don't need this, I said, smiling. I opened my notebook one last time. I wrote slowly and clearly. I was never too poor to love. I was just loving someone who needed proof. Now I love myself enough to walk away. I closed the book and put it on the shelf. My phone rang. An unknown number. Adam? A voice asked. Yes, I replied. This is Daniel. I felt nothing. What do you want? I asked. I just wanted to say, you were right, he said. About what? About staying, he replied. I didn't know how. I know, I said. I'm sorry, he added. So am I replied. For both of us. I hung up and didn't think about him again. That night I stood in front of the mirror. You did good, I said. You didn't win, I added. You grew. I turned off the lights and lay down. No voices argued back. I thought about tomorrow not as a threat but as space. I choose peace, I whispered. I choose respect. I choose myself. The city hummed outside, alive and indifferent. I finally understood something simple. Justice doesn't always punish others. Sometimes it just frees you. And that was enough. I closed my eyes, calm and whole. This wasn't revenge. This was closure. And it was mine.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.